Hello friends, my name is Omar and today we'll be talking about imperatives. يعني we'll be talking about how to tell someone to do something, how to give them an order or a request. But before we talk about that, I need you to be familiar with the concept of present stem. Present stem, it's basically the present tense form without the prefixes and suffixes that tell you who is doing this action. For example, if we remove the beginning ye from يكتب, we get كتب, كتب. And if we remove the ni from نكتب, we get كتب. And if we remove the t in the beginning and the u at the end from تكتبوا, which means you all write, we also get كتب. The part of the verb that all forms have in common is كتب, and that's the present stem. Now, with that in mind, let's take a look at how imperatives are formed in Arabic, and in particular in Hijazi Arabic. يلا نبدأ. There are two ways to make a verb imperative depending on the verb. For verbs like راح, يروح, which means to go, we have first to identify the present stem. So we take the present tense form يروح and we remove the prefix ye and we get the present stem روح, روح. And that would also be the imperative form of the verb. So we don't need to do anything else. روح is the imperative form of the verb راح يروح, so it means go. For example, روح المحطة, go to the station. روح المحطة, روح, go, المحطة, the station, go to the station. روح المحطة. And by the way, if you want to make the imperatives more polite, you can just add لو سمحت, please. روح المحطة, لو سمحت, go to the station, please. Anyway, next verb, شاف, يشوف. So again, we have to identify the present stem. We remove the ye from the beginning of the verb in the present tense, so it becomes شوف, and that's the imperative form. So for example, شوف سيارتي الجديدة, look at my new car. شوف سيارتي الجديدة. So شوف means see or look at in some context. سيارتي, my car. الجديدة, the new. So شوف سيارتي الجديدة, look at my new car. Another verb, حب, يحب. This is the verb to love. So again, we take the present tense form, we remove the ye from the beginning, so we get حب, love as an imperative. For example, حب جارك, love your neighbor. حب جارك, jar is neighbor and جارك is your neighbor. So حب جارك, love your neighbor. And now another verb, رد, يرد, to reply. And you know the drill. Remove the ye, you get رد, رد على الإيميل, reply to the email. رد على الإيميل. So I think at this point, well, you get the point. The imperative is the same as the present stem, which is basically the part of the verb in the present tense. But now let's take a look at the second type of verbs, which doesn't follow exactly the same rules. For example, the verb كتب, يكتب, to write. With verbs like كتب, يكتب, we don't make the imperative the same way because we have a problem. If we remove the ye to get the present stem, it becomes كتب, كتب. This present stem begins with a consonant cluster. يعني two consecutive consonants with no vowels between them, which makes it really difficult to pronounce. We don't want to say كتب, كتب. Although some dialects do that. I'm looking at you, Moroccan, but we don't like that in Urban Hijazi. We don't like to begin words with two consonants. So we add a helping vowel, a, a. So we say أكتب, أكتب. So that's the imperative of the verb كتب يكتب, it's أكتب. And yes, it's exactly the same form as I write, أكتب. And well, depending on the context, you would know which one it is. For example, أكتب email, write an email. أكتب email, أكتب email. Another verb, سبح, يسبح. So the present stem is سبح, سبح. difficult to say, so we add a helping vowel. أسبح, swim. أسبح, أسبح في المسبح, swim in the pool. أسبح في المسبح, so مسبح is the pool. أسبح في المسبح. And another verb, أستعمل, يستعمل, to use. أستعمل, يستعمل. The present form is يستعمل. We remove the ye and we get استعمل, استعمل. We don't like that, so we add a helping vowel. So it becomes أستعمل, أستعمل الطفاية. Use the fire extinguisher. أستعمل الطفاية, أستعمل الطفاية. الطفاية is the fire extinguisher. طفاية, by the way, comes from the same root as the verb طفى, يطفي, to turn off a device. أستعمل الطفاية, أستعمل الطفاية. Arabic verb conjugation might seem complicated, but it's not random. It follows specific patterns. And if you learn the most common verb of each conjugation pattern, you can easily apply that to conjugate other verbs in the same category. And that's exactly how I designed my verb conjugation course, in which you can find PDFs with conjugation tables of the most common 300 verbs sorted by conjugation pattern. So, if you'd like to master verb conjugation once and for all, and start speaking like a native, check out my verb conjugation course, link in the description.